The audiobook is now available on audiobooks.com. Place your order today. Link in description. What is respect according to you? Because sometimes it's confused. Is respect fear? Is fear respect?
Respect is actually just honoring someone, acknowledging them. They hold a certain value in your life. So you respect them as people. You also respect them as who they are in your life.
Some couples actually fight to a point of divorce because of that lack of that individual identity. They don't have an identity, they don't have a voice. Some individuals, they might be in their ages of 30, 40, they still shrink the moment their parent speaks up. They fear,
There's that confusion between the respect and fear because of how, I would say because of most of us black people, the background or the upbringing, our parents involved a lot of fear, or they infused a lot of fear within when they were bringing us up. I think maybe they were not equipped enough, so they felt like the best way they could get us to respect them or to just listen to them generally is by instilling fear.
Isn't there a possibility that parents sometimes could be toxic?
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Love and Marriage today with Dr. Bakhe and Nokwanda. We're happy to have you back. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for your comments. Thank you for, sharing your views in the subjects that we are touching on. We understand that, some of them you really don't have anyone else to talk to about them. So you are finding this very useful and relevant to your lives. So we really appreciate that. And thank you for subscribing. We're really excited to have our family grow. We know that there are people that are actually, leaving comments in the comment section. We're going to just share one now.
Before we go into the comments, it's just to invite people still. We know that after the podcast, people need assistance with therapy services. We are available. We are based in Sandton Hyde Park. Do come. We also do offer online consultations. Let's get into the comments. There's Ultana. He says, my brother, you are exactly speaking about what all men want and need. It was the topic where we discussed what men want. So I'm grateful that a man affirms that what we're talking about is not just some theory. He relates to that.
Yeah, very important.
The next one is Monet. It's a lady. She says, this episode confirmed that my absent father syndrome and strong mother I experience will never make me to understand marriage, and I give up. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, she has mentioned the traumas that she has actually experienced, which include the absent father. So it can take, it takes a lot for one who has had such a background.
Yeah.
But again, once again, it's a decision that one can actually decide, say, okay, as much as I had a certain background, there are certain things that I can still change.
Yeah. I just think she shouldn't give up. She should believe in love and marriage. She should go for therapy. She needs to deal with some traumas. I want us to dive into the topic. Today we're talking about respect versus fear when it comes to the matters of parents. Where's the line, the draw line between fearing parents and respecting parents? What is respect according to you? Because sometimes it's confused. Is respect fear? Is fear respect? What's your thoughts? Tell us something.
Respect is actually just honoring someone and acknowledging them, that they are they hold a certain value in your life, for instance, or they are people of who have a voice in your life, maybe if I can say it that way, who matter in your life. So you respect them as people, and you also respect them as who they are in your life, the place that they hold in your life. So I think the reason, well, I don't know if I'm now just elaborating, but basically I feel like there's that confusion between the respect and fear because of how, I would say, because of most of us black people, the background or the upbringing, our parents involved a lot of fear, or they infused a lot of fear within when they were bringing us up. You know, I feel like, I think maybe they were not equipped enough, so they felt like the best way they could get us to respect them or to just listen to them generally is by instilling fear.
I'm just thinking why we're talking about fear versus respect. It's because the aspect of parents is involved in our marriage life, because in as much as you've got parents, you're starting this family of yours and you have to have some sense of autonomy. You have to have some identity, and some couples actually fight to a point of divorce because of that lack of that individual identity. They don't have an identity, they don't have a voice. Some individuals, they might be in their ages of 30, 40, they still shrink the moment their parent speaks up. They fear, you know. Is it right to fear? In as much as we shouldn't disrespect, but is it right to fear? We do have some people who also have been threatened, you know, to say, if you don't do what I want you to do as a parent, as an elder, I own blessings, you're going to be cursed, isn't it? Things won't go well for you. And I know that the Bible has said, honor your parents so that you may have a long life and things might, you know, turn out good for yourself. But what do you say to someone who says, I've honored my parents, but my parents are toxic? Isn't there a possibility that parents sometimes could be toxic?
There is, and we have seen a lot of that. We have even heard of it through our clients. We have seen it. It's there. The reason, it's not right. You asked, is it right that somebody would then fear? It's not right. And I would feel like, or I would say, it's misuse of the power that the parents have, because they know. For instance, you mentioning how they would threaten to say, I hold your blessings and all of that. So they know they have that power. So I feel like there's that misuse. It is used against the child who's no longer a child, so that they get to do whatever the parent wants. So I feel like the best way to do this is that the parent also needs to understand that this person is an adult now. So the respect now is no longer just one way. The respect, actually, even as children need to be respected, you know. So, and that is supposed to then groom the child to understanding that I also hold some kind of I deserve to be respected. Even when they're adults, then they are not fearing the parent, but they respect the parent because they know the parent respects them back.
So children should be respected too,
Yes.
whilst the parent is respected. Interesting.
Yeah.
Can continue.
Yeah, definitely. So what if your parents said, don't marry me?
What if my parents said,
Yes. What if your parents were against you marrying me?
I'm an adult, I'm an independent thinker. I think it's a skill, it's a coping mechanism that I developed as early as possible in life, which I've found that many clients lack that. Many clients or people who are in marriage lack that backbone, a position. Many people just resort to floating. They don't have a position, you know. So I'm an adult, I'm an independent thinker, and as much as I respect my parents, I've got an independent thinking. So if my parents told me that I shouldn't marry you, I would have defied them. Not in a disrespectful manner. I'm an adult. I pay my mortgage, I pay my bills. So it means I'm responsible for my life. And I think it's an integral part when it comes to marriage. A couple needs to have that sense. If a couple is going to bend to everything mommy says or daddy says or mkulu says, there's a challenge because your partner relies on you for decision making and living as a whole, which means you have to be reliable, and you're only reliable if you've got some structure. You are solid. But if you are volatile like water, it just depends on what mommy says, and I come back, I report, this is what mommy says. But the question becomes, uthini wena? What are you saying? So mshado, linyalo calls for strong people, you know. I don't know, would you be able to follow me if I always have to rely on consulting with people? If you're saying we need to buy a house, I'm like, but what will mommy say? Let me go consult with mommy. Would you be able to say I'm a leader that's worthy of being followed?
No. No, I think actually at times I would find myself making certain decisions on my own because I would already know, ooh, if I go tell him, he's about to go and consult and ask and involve everyone.
So tell me about wives who many a times complain about such. What situation does it put them in if they have a husband who always has to consult about everything?
Of course, it puts them in a position where they're not able to trust. You know, it's an unstable position. It makes one feel like, hey, I need to do something for myself just in case, because it's like this person doesn't know what's supposed to happen. We always have to involve, and there are things that don't need you as a couple to involve outsiders or people, even for your family. And the things that you need to decide on, the both of you, and continue with them, they will be revealed later on. So if the kind of person you're married to is then the kind of person that wants to consult their family about everything that you do, it can feel really unsettling.
I hear you. What if your parents said to you, you shouldn't marry me? You know, when we got married in 2011, if your parents said you can't marry him, hello.
You know, actually, I have a question for you first before I answer that one.
Answer it with the answer.
Okay, so because I asked you the same question.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do a follow-up question to ask what if the parents are advising you against marrying me because actually they are warning you?
Okay, interesting one.
Like maybe they know something about me,
Yes.
or about my parents.
I've heard of such.
So about my parents, or the kind of, like others, other things. I think for other families, it goes deeper. Other families, it also involves their religious backgrounds, what they believe in as a family, their cultural backgrounds, all of that. Maybe the parents are warning you because they're like, oh, these kind of tribes, don't marry this tribe. Just making an example.
At the end of the day, the decision stays with the adult. Parents are more than welcome to advice. And we need to learn to agree or disagree based on principle. If what my parents are saying I should do violates my own principles, then that's when I have a right to say, I respect you, but I want to agree to disagree. But if parents are well-meaning and they are cautioning you against something that's valid, they are saying, be careful. I've had such cases where parents get involved. That lady, we know her, she's a neighbor, she's so not a virtuous woman, or they would say she's a loose woman. And you find that because you've got love, there's so much love. We do have some children who went on to defy their parents when they were warned, and today they are divorced or they are unhappy because they were feeling the butterflies. And this episode is not about saying we shouldn't listen to our parents. Sometimes parents speak and say, "Azindodana, Siyambona umakoti, we see your wife, son. She seems to be a disrespectful someone. Uzokuhlupha lo ntombazana. Siyambona nje. We see her, she's going to be problematic. She's disrespectful. And you find that as a man, you ignore those warnings and zikhale kusasa. And tomorrow you are in trouble. You need to run back to the same family. So we're not saying we shouldn't listen to family. We shouldn't listen to valid concerns. But some concerns are invalid. For example, people come and say, Sis Willie and I, we've heard such and such. And you find that it's fabrications, it's untrue. You need to have your sense as an adult to be able to say, you know what, I've listened to you, but there's no basis. I'm continuing with my decision. I have a question for you. What happens if your elders say, son or daughter, you don't have our blessing? You know the big word, we are not giving you our blessing.
Whew.
And there's a wedding date. You've paid for the cake. What happens then?
You want to make me emotional. You want to make me emotional. But yeah, well, when it comes to me, yo, guys, I'll defile them, you know this.
Defile.
You know this. Like, I'll go ahead. I also believe very much in the independent decision making.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm a total believer of it's the mistakes that I make that are going to make me a better person.
Yeah.
I'm a believer in that philosophy, and I know it's a difficult one. It's a hard one because it's like, oh, you'd rather go hit the wall.
But at times, what if?
And yes, and again, my mind will always come back to me and say, what if I won't hit the wall?
And what if we need to allow our children sometimes, after we've taught them, to go and learn the tough way?
The
And
tough way.
what if we are misinformed? We think they're gonna hit the wall, and there's
There's no wall to hit.
This one takes me. This very critical conversation takes me back to our marriage vows. We need to remember when people marry, they marry for better or worse, for rich or for poor, in sickness and health. We need to remember when people join together, when they come together, they are embarking on a journey. It's a call to surrender. They are choosing each other. It's important that a couple understands the decision they make to get married. They are not making a decision on behalf of their family members. It's a decision they have to stand with, they have to stick with. You know, whether life turns around or life favors you, are you ready? That's how serious marriage is. Are you ready to stand for your decision?
Yeah.
Let's help some viewers. Some were saying, my parents don't want me to get married. What do I do? They don't want to accept the lobola. Can we shed some advice? Not in a disrespectful manner or saying zokatimizi or saying we are here to divide children, set them up against their parents or parents against children. What do we say to such a person who says, I want to get married, but they are saying they're not receiving the lobola? According to the constitution of this country, you have a full right to get married even if your parents are not giving you a blessing.
Yeah, as long as you're over 18.
As long as you're over 18, as long as there's a marriage officer, as long as you've got witnesses, and the witnesses don't have to be blood relatives.
True.
Because some people have been held ransom. They can't do nothing because parents saying, we can't accept the law. Gyaliwa. Sometimes, gyaliwa. People are fighting on the lobola. Lobola is not being accepted. But someone says, I want to get married. What happens to a couple that wants to get married, but parents say, we're not giving you a blessing? Forget.
I think also, like we mentioned earlier on, it's always important to look at where is this coming from? What heart is it coming from? I've heard of marriages that didn't take place because parents wanted ceremonies to be done in a certain way.
Yeah.
If they were not done, things were turned
drama.
back.
Yeah.
Then one of the partners felt like, I'm not doing this again.
Like,
Like
Not-
like there's so many things that happen because somehow parents still want the control. They want things to be done their way or no way at all.
ake ngibuze nje mina. Your parents say we want 15 cows. And umkhwenyana says, I can't afford the 15 cows. And you as a girl child say, but I want to get married. I love this guy. He's from a poor family. He only has 5 cows. Then there's the tug of war. Parents saying, "Akukho umshado ozoqhubeka."
Unless there are 15 cows.
What happens there? What advice would you give to a girl child, to a woman?
If a man has 5 cows and is saying, here, this is what I have, that man is worthy of you going ahead and marrying them, because it's not like they are coming with nothing at all. It's not like they are saying, oh no, they have 5 cows, but they are bringing in 2 cows. That person is like, this is all I have. And that person is actually potential, because that person can go back and find 5 more cows and go back again and find 5 more cows. Well, in other cultures, I don't know in some cultures, but like my culture, kuthiwa umfazi akaqedi.
Usho yona.
Like you don't, there's no place where you can say, I've done it
full
all,
bill,
I've
yeah.
paid it all, you know. So the mkhwenyana or the groom is allowed to
Yeah.
come back and finish up and finish up.
Is allowed
So,
to make partial payment.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
People are going through stuff. One time I had a client who said they wanted to get married, but their mom said, you are not getting married until you build me a house. Shadi fana, ungaqeda ungakhela umuzi. Ngifuna ama-tiles, lanka amanyazelayo. I want the tiles, the shiny ones. They should be this design. Before we can talk about releasing you.
So this is a dream house. Not that it's the mother doesn't have a house at all.
I think the mother does have a house, but she just wanted
There was
the
a
proper
dream
one.
house.
The proper one.
The one that she
The
wants.
one she's living in, she's like, it's not a
It's
house.
not the one.
I've taken you to school. I've taken you to school. You are speaking English today. It's me. So I come first as your parent. Some even say, I'm your God of this earth. So take care of me first before we could talk about dispersing, sending a delegation to your in-laws to with cows. What do you say when it comes to such things?
Isn't that black tax?
But what's the limit of black tax? Because black tax is great. We have to take care of our elders.
Is there a limit?
But
Is
shouldn't there be
ever-
some
Who's going to put the limit? Because they are parents who just want to keep the tap must not close.
But
ever.
isn't there some moderation? Shouldn't there be some moderation or some reasonable?
And it's like you're saying, the mother was saying, I took you to school, you speak English because I am the one that took you to certain schools. So that is like payback time. That kind of house that you're going to build is a house that shows the effort that I put as well. So that is black tax as well.
Lalela wena. Mina would go ahead and get married. Ngisho nje kahle kumama kuthi mama, I love you. I'll build you a house.
Yeah,
after I have gotten married.
Yeah, because the house can still be built.
And I am your child. I'm not paying you back. You raised me. You raised me. You brought me to this world. It was your choice. I didn't choose to be born. You had a constitutional responsibility. There's a Child's Protection Act, which says every child should be provided for, should be taken care of emotionally.
The basic,
the Child's Protection Act.
Yes.
So I would say, Mom, I love you, but please don't stand in the way of my happiness. Ngifuna ukuba happy. I go get married. After getting married, then I'm just saying sometimes you need to take the steering wheel into your hands, especially in places where you've got family members who are toxic. Okay, someone says, what if they don't talk to me after I come back?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's gonna be fine. What happens if family members say, oh, you went ahead, you got married, you didn't do what we wanted, we're no longer talking to you, we disown you?
It's okay because they don't see me as a person anyway. I'm not fit enough to make my own decisions. So I'm not human enough to them. So it's fine. We don't talk gambe. Vele, who wants to talk to a person who is...
I'm concerned about the sense of not seeking your child's best interest.
Exactly.
They want to get married.
Exactly.
They want to mature. And when you lay demands, because
you still want to be in control. Like this is something that I always say, especially during premarital counseling, and I tell people that when you're going to have children, when you're planning to have children and raise the children, do everything that you want to do, instill everything that you'd like to instill in the children's lives, as long as they are still below 18. Because once they reach 18, you must be ready to let go. And tell yourself and be satisfied that I have done it all. I've done all that I needed to do. Now I need to trust what I did on that child. I need to trust the process that was involved in raising that child, that it will help the child to be the best that they can be on their own.
Above trusting them to be the best that you raise them to be, have your own pension fund.
Of course.
So that you don't depend on your children. This thing of us not having a plan whilst we are raising children. Then
I get to say that you are doing all the best and we'll then empty everything.
Doing the best for who?
The best for the child.
Who brought them here? It goes back to contraceptives. Let us not bring a child to this world if we are not ready to fend for them. If we are endabeni yokuhlela umndeni, akasiyekele loku isinye nje ukuthi siyathamba abantwana. You know? Let's think. A child is a cost. So let's have them when we feel like we can afford them. Have a clear perspective of their college tuition, where it will come from. Have a plan. Make the right financial decisions so that the children are not inconvenienced at the end of the day.
Yeah, but at the flip of the coin, how important is it to take care of parents?
Very much important. There's a blessing for that. There is no blessing in letting your parents starve. It is un-African. It is ungodly. Children have a responsibility to take care of their family members. But, word of caution, they need to take care of them according to their means and level of affordability. If a child has to sacrifice themselves, bend themselves backward in order to take care of family members, there is toxicity at work.
All right. That's the end of our topic today. We'll leave it there. But yeah, it's quite a touchy one. It's quite not very easy to talk about because we feel like, again, it goes back to, is it respect or is it fear?
Yeah.
So that's something we would like to hear from you, would like you to make, bring in those comments and let us know what you think. And maybe it's something that you have experienced yourself. Share your experience with us. You'd be sharing with somebody else that is actually going through, something like this and needs help.
Yeah.
But you are also welcome to come through our offices or just call for, to get professional help. You can see us virtually or you can come to our offices in Sandton Hyde Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are ready to see you. We're ready to help you out. But for today, that is it. And we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Should we fear parents?
Parents are an authority in Africa. Parents should be respected. But sometimes there could be crossing of lines. There could be fear. I listened to another man say, I saw my mom disrespect my wife, but I couldn't stand up for my wife. I couldn't tell my mom that I'm unhappy because umama umuntu omdala she's my elder and I can't say nothing. And I looked at the man, I said, well, you failed your wife. Don't parents have a responsibility to make sure they don't offend their children? Isn't it possible that some children cannot honor because they are provoked? Because our parents are quick to say, honor your father and mother. They forget just a very important verse below that one, Ephesians chapter 6, I think it's verse 4. It then says, fathers, do not provoke your children unto anger.
Actually, a lot of people don't know that verse.
So expecting your child to comply when you are provoking them
I think
is
actually,
oppression.